Hey everyone, Dave Brown here with The New Populist. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. And I'm sure you're aware of the Arizona audit report that is being discussed in the Arizona State Senate right now. And there's a few interesting things, a couple things that were pointed out that people are getting very excited about. And not to be the person that to rain on your parade, but there are two things that I think we need to look at and go, okay, these aren't quite the smoking gun things that we're hoping for. The first one is the issue of these duplicate ballots. The report at no point indicated how those ballots were distributed. So there was, say, 17,000 duplicate ballots in Maricopa County that they could be 55% Biden, 45% Trump. We don't know. Until that number is actually given, how they were distributed, that number doesn't tell us that there is enough there to tip that 12,000 vote difference between Biden and Trump. The second thing, they reported that there was somebody deleting things, and this person's logins they didn't have, but they were able to look at cameras to determine who was at that terminal, at that computer, deleting things, so they could find out who that person was. And when that was announced, many members of the in the chamber started clapping and cheering as if this was some indication that somebody was finally going to pay and that they had a name and a face to whoever was deleting these files. Here's the problem. He deleted files. What does that tell you? Well, he's going to argue, oh, I deleted files. I thought I was supposed to. Well, it was an accident. Oh, yeah, I just went in there and I was supposed to delete them. He can say anything. Just because he deleted something, we can't necessarily know what his motive was. And all he has to say is, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. And so you can charge him with the crime. Say if it's illegal to delete that evidence, you can charge him with the crime. But that in itself does not mean that the election can be overturned or that 12,000 vote margin is gone. It just means you have an official, or I guess in this case, it may not even be a person member of the government, but a IT professional who then will just say, I made a mistake. He'll be given 6 months and some probation. That's that. And when he gets out, he'll probably find a nice, cushy job somewhere at a firm, making a lot of money, and he will get his golden parachute for shutting his mouth and just pleading to ignorance. So unfortunately, in that situation, people are very excited about that. We got the guy who deleted the files. That's not enough. It's like this indictment with John Durham, with the Sussman guy. He just, okay, they got this one guy. He says, I'm sorry. And then we know in this case, the judge is somebody he knows. He'll get a slap on the wrist, and that'll be that. The guy who changed the what's his name? Clydesdale, or he was the one that fudged the numbers, that lied about, what's his name, being a member working for the CIA and messed up the timeline. And this is how they got the FISA documents and everything, or the FISA court to approve of spying. And so he gets 6 months and a slap on the wrist and says, okay, my bad. I had, my intentions were actually pure. I just, fudged just because I wanted to get things rolling here, the ball rolling. So you can take out these small people and they can admit to doing dumb stuff, but that doesn't take down the actual cabal or change anything in the long run that's big. And so I guarantee you, if they have this person's name, this person will cop to just making a mistake, and he will get a slap on the wrist, and that's that. And I don't want to be that that rain cloud on a sunny day, but we have to look at the bigger picture and what's happening. If you have evidence in a crime, for example, say you murder somebody, Why would you leave the bloody knife right next to your in your bedstand at your house? You would wash it off and chuck it in the ocean. Why would they leave evidence, smoking gun evidence, that they stole the Arizona election in a place where someone could find it and then use it to expose everything? It's better to destroy evidence and be charged with destruction of evidence than to be charged with the worst crime of actually stealing an election. So they cover their tracks, they delete the evidence, and all we can do is charge people with deleting evidence, to deleting databases, that minor stuff that's going to get a slap on the wrist. That's all we can do. So if your expectations was for this audit to show that the election was stolen, you're going to be sorely disappointed. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. In the future, we have to change laws, and we have to have our state legislators be proactive in making sure bad things can't happen. Once they changed the rules in 2020, it was over. And I think people high up the chain, I think Bill Barr, I know he's given him a lot of flack, but I think he recognized that by the time it got to the point where it reached his desk, there wasn't too much he could do, even if he thought maybe there was some malfeasance going on. Basically, when the Supreme Court said, yeah, you're allowed to change the rules, you can do that, you can do this, he's like, well, if they change these rules, they're going to take advantage of that, and they're going to find a way to win. And at this point, there's not much I can do. I'm not going to fall on the sword and martyr myself for a lost cause. So this election, was it stolen? We all have our opinions, but my point is the smoking gun evidence will never be found. They will never leave lying around for someone to find. They're smarter than that. They're dirty players in this game, and they're not going to make a mistake that big. That's it for now. Again, if you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.